Hey everybody, it's me Chadini. There's a lot of talk I've heard or overheard about December 21st, 2012, signifying the day that the Federal Reserve will not re-sign its charter, therefore making it the end of the Federal Reserve Act. I'm telling you right now, the Federal Reserve is not going to let its power go over America. What they're going to do is balance the power, the economic power, between the Western Hemisphere and the Eastern Hemisphere. We already see China's rising up economically. Even in the time when Europe is not doing too well, America's not doing too well economically. We're going to see the economic powerhouse be set up in Asia, but they're still going to control the economy of Europe and America from that remote distance. That's what we're going to see. And if you don't already see it coming true, Obama, just a couple weeks ago, went to Myanmar. Those that's familiar with Myanmar knows that Myanmar is very closely tied with North Korea's militia. All right, we know that Kim Jong-il died. They put Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il's third son, who's European educated, in his place, and he's a Rothschild pawn, meaning the global elite controls him. All right. And they want him to go ahead and carry on Kim Jong-il's legacy, but at the same time, work with the banking elite. So, mark my words, in 10, 15 years, we're going to see a united Korea. With Obama doing the things he did in Myanmar, lifting UN sanctions and US sanctions. You notice that the global elite always use the Muslims. There's always got to be some type of war tactic so that America can go in there, and so the UN can go in there and act like they're saving a country and bringing democracy to a country. But their democracy is just tyranny. Their democracy is oppression. We have it here in America. They have it in Europe. Machiavelli spoke about it. I mean, so many books, so many books, so many well-educated individuals that talks about the tyranny that's going on in America and Europe, and now the spreading of it, the New World Order, a global universal order. We see this. I mean, should be coming common sense now. When Obama got in office, you had the Obama phones. You could call or text. Now, with the NQTEL, which is CIA's investment arm for innovation, technological innovation, you got cell phones. Basically, you can skim through, pay your bills online, swipe your cell phone to pay for items. I mean, your whole life is in the palm of your hand now. So it's kind of mandatory for everyone to have one in a sense. Certain jobs are not giving out checks anymore. You got to have direct deposit. Someone sits in a computer, put how much you made for the week, and send it out to your bank. Then you get a little beep on your phone saying this is how much you got in your bank. Everything is electronic now. And that's what they call going green, when it's actually living like the Amish that's going green, living like Native Americans off of the land with your people, becoming one with the universe. And we also see that Eastern philosophy of becoming one with the universe, living with your people. I mean, you go to China, majority of people there are Chinese. You go to Japan, the majority of people are there are Japanese. And when I mean the majority, I mean about 90%. I mean, it's really crowded with them in the Eastern Hemisphere as far as Asia is concerned. When you come into America and Europe, it's not just white people. You got black people, you got Caribbeans, and all that. It's a mixed group of people. So the Christian religion, we got to understand that religion and nation building goes hand in hand. Nationalism and religion goes hand in hand. When the Europeans were out trying to conquer lands, they came with a rifle and a Bible. All right, New Imperialism states that. The European imperialism states that. Any book, any history book you get, it show you that they can't hide that. They were out there preaching to you at the same time, forcing their hand upon your land. That's what they did. And now they can't really do that with Asia. They outnumber us, and they know some things that we don't know yet. So we're trying to get to know that stuff, And so they're not going to force their hand with them. What they're going to do, they're going to play the opposite role. We're going to go ahead and take your philosophy and push it on the Western Hemisphere. So we see more in the movies and the media. We see, subliminal messages, subliminal things about individual spirituality. It's becoming heightened. It's becoming to a heightened point. Wasn't this high before, but now it's becoming at a heightened point. Gays, openly gay is an okay thing now. You see that the DSM-5, which is a certified psychiatric publishing, which will be coming out in March 2013. There's an article in there by a certified psychiatric where it states that there's nothing wrong, mentally wrong with pedophilia. All right, and it's the same DSM-5 that came out years ago talking about society should be more open to homosexuality, and voila, it came about. When you got a PhD and you got something like a publishing book like that with PhD people that's educated within the same system that's funded by the elite, what you say is kind of like gold at that point, because it's doctrinated, it's validated, and it's doctrinated, so it's gold. And we can use this in courts, we can use this to change laws. So we'll see that. We'll see eventually down the road, maybe the legal age will drop from 18 to 14 or 16. Maybe it'll keep dropping from there, I don't know. But we'll see that. Definitely sure we'll see that. We'll definitely sure that we'll see the economic powerhouse be set up in Asia. But still going to be controlled by Eurocentric banking elite. A lot of people say, oh, there's no way this can happen. There's no way this can happen. Our people are not going to hurt us. They're in control of the economy now. They're hurting the European and American economy. So, and we also got to look at Warburg and the Rothschild. They're Eurocentric Jews, and these are the same Jews that funded Hitler. They harmed their own people, So we have to understand that they'll do anything. They'll do anything to get to their desired point, to accomplish their aspirations and goals. They'll do anything. So that's not a matter of discussion, really. It's going to happen that way. And they used Obama. You see Obama being the puppet that he is. He's in, make you think that he's in control. He's not. But eugenics too. Another thing we gotta look at is the eugenics program of the global elite. They trying to make everyone Obama's color. A lot of people don't want to touch on it, but you study the eugenics that's going on with the global elite. They have a certain color frame. You see that light-skinned people trying to tan, they're trying to get to that color. Darker skinned people are bleaching their skin trying to get to that color. That's what we want. So, because if you're trying to put a different religion on a new nationalism, you're trying to create a one world nation, basically, you got to have a religion that's going to be catering to all people of the world. How can you do that if there's darker people and lighter people, And then statistically, the numbers, even in India, with darker skinned Indians in India, the darker, statistically, is more dark-skinned individuals in poverty and in lower middle class areas. How can you say that you have individual empowerment and trick them and make them believe that under your tyranny, under your oppression, under your system, your tyrant system, that you have individual empowerment? How could you trick them? They would have to do the eugenics. The eugenics is part of that. Everyone's a slave to their oppressive system, and they want you to believe in individual spirituality and all that, because that worked for China, that worked for Japan, that worked for the Koreans, because they're all family, they're all same bloodline. They look at each other as family. Here in America, we don't look at each other as family, let alone do we even look at our neighbor as family, and they right there, just as intermediate as the family that's under your roof. They're your neighbor, So, that's something that they're going to slowly change, and we're going to see that occur in a couple generations. Because you got to understand the global elite works in generational blocks. So, as this is occurring, we have to understand that it's always better to be the pack of wolves. It's always better to work together as a commune, to have some type of communistic values and principles, to work together as a collective, than to be an individual capitalist or an individual spiritual person. It's better to be the pack of wolves than the lone egotistical lion, which will fall for any trap because of his ego, and he feels that no one can beat him. And you got a group of wolves where they put their egos aside to do what's best for the whole. It's really set up for you guys, because you got to understand the global elite, they are the wolves. They work together to do what's better for them, to keep us oppressed, to keep us down, to make us believe that we have freedom, to make us believe that we can become just like them. But we can't become just like them unless we go at them, wage war against them. MeetYourdini.com. Support the cause. Support the cause.